Aloha kako guys, and welcome to Just&True. I was actually having a conversation just this afternoon with a buddy of mine here at work, and we were talking about during a emergency or survival situation for long term, how do you handle human excrement? How do you handle fecal matter, and how do you handle urine safely? It's something that I've given a little thought, but it's not something that I dove completely into. I have an emergency toilet stacked up. I have bags stacked up. Um, and I have a few things ready for my emergency situation as far as human excrement goes. But what I don't have, or what I didn't really think of, is a long-term solution for this. And obviously, there's probably people out there who never even thought of what to do with your poo, in this situation. A lot of people are really relying on their sewage lines not being broken. A lot of people are relying on their toilet to still be working, which of course, if your water goes out or if your electricity goes out, you can always just pour a bucket of water down the back of your tank and it will flush your toilet. Now, if you flush your toilet this way and your lines are broke, or your building had turned off the sanitation lines, or your county had closed off its lines, then it'll back up and you'll have a disaster in your bathroom, and it will not be good. You're gonna have to disinfect, and you're gonna have a big job on your hands. You're most likely to die of dysentery or even malaria in some places, or infections, or just you're more likely to die of bacteria and viruses than you are a gunshot wound in these kind of situations. Look at the recent tsunamis all throughout the southeast. Look at Hurricane Katrina, Sandy, and Harvey. Look at these earthquakes in Haiti. The big thing, one of the biggest killers, is sanitation, and one of the biggest flaws in sanitation is that we are underprepared as a society, and as even preppers sometimes, to handle long-term storage of poo and of urine. So I encourage you to get online and to find yourself either a good emergency toilet. There's waterless toilets if you can afford them. They're really cool, they're portable. If you can't afford something like that, you can do what I did. A lot of people will get a 5-gallon bucket, just a regular bucket from Home Depot, get one of those noodles, those pool noodles, and they'll just line that bucket with a liner or a trash bag or a bag, and then you put your noodle over it, noodle on top, and then you can use the latrine, use the bathroom, however you want. It just works like a normal toilet. It's kind of your emergency toilet. The problem is getting rid of that poop, and where to get rid of it, and how long you can be putting a certain amount of fecal matter in an area without it contaminating the ground. So if you are in a house, for example, and you have a yard, you don't want to go out and keep digging up holes and burying poop in the yard, or it's going to be just a giant cesspool, literally, of poop. You're going to want to find one location and dig either a deep enough hole, a really deep hole, and use biodegradable bags, which you should buy for these purposes, or you're going to want to burn it, which can easily be done with just a little bit of accelerant, and you could burn it in any kind of metal garbage tin or tins like that. So if your pipes are working, go ahead and use your toilet. Just have a bucket of water to pour in the back of your toilet, the toilet tank, and then it will flush the toilet. Make sure to test it first, because if it is a broken line, you don't want any excrement going around in these situations. You definitely, every time you go to the restroom, wash your hands, especially in those situations. Wash your hands, or even use sterile gloves. Use your gloves. You're going to want to have bleach or hydrogen chloride to disinfect, and you're going to want to do that often. And you're never going to want to ever do anything without washing your hands, alcohol on your hands, or some sort of cleaner, even hydrogen peroxide or bleach through your hands. Because like I said before, most people in emergency situations don't die from a gunshot wound or from some sort of action. They die from infection, they die from dehydration, and they die from unsanitary conditions. So make sure that you don't, or your family, one of your loved ones, die from a completely preventable disease because you weren't prepared on how to get rid of your excrement. So just know that. Start looking into some different ways for you to handle that. Think of long-term solutions as well. Don't think of it just going out and doing your business in the woods, because long-term that may not work out. You may not want to leave your house if it's cold. You may not want to leave your house if there's exterior threats. And if you have to stay in your house, have a separate 5-gallon bag, or separate 5-gallon, or even a couple buckets put away, secure from everywhere else, that you can empty those bags that you defecate into inside. Make sure it's airtight, and always spray, like I said, chlorine, bleach, even anything that can be sanitation, used for sanitation. But make sure you start thinking about these things. Start thinking about what to do with your hygiene and personal hygiene, and what to do with your excrement during these situations, because it is something that is less talked about. It's not one of the cool subjects like silver or ammo, but definitely look into it, because it's something that I need to look more into myself. Anyway, mahalo for stopping in, guys. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you. Sorry about that. I will see you on the flip side. Bye.